Here's the mindful man reading the next chapter entitled Thief. They sat down at the table and Mary scanned the menu with an ever-increasing frown on her face. Everything was so expensive. £17 for a ham sandwich, she said in amazement as she looked down cautiously. But she was so hungry that she had to order something before she passed out. The only thing she could afford was the soup with a nice roll for £10. Only £10, she muttered to herself. Mary looked at Apricot, and she knew that he must be hungry. Poor Apricot looked so weak. But he wasn't sure if there was anything on the menu which was appropriate. The only thing she could see was a bowl of glitzy strawberries. Mary was pleased as Apricot nibbled happily away, and she filled Apricot's saucer with sparkling fizzy water. They both got funny looks from the other well-dressed customers, but they didn't care as they were both content with each other's company. Mary felt guilty watching Apricot nibbling on his small bread roll. She had little knowledge of what guinea pigs like to eat, like most people. After research in the library, she thought wisely, and she made a mental note to research the diet of guinea pigs. The last thing she wanted was a skinny-looking guinea pig or a poisoned guinea pig. The dining area was a hive of activity and noise. From the clashing of knives and forks to the crescendo of voices, it was so loud that it was almost impossible to make out any conversations. It all blended together. Mary was getting a headache, so she bent down and reached into her trusty handbag for an aspirin. It was then that when she did this that Apricot lifted his head up from the bowl of water and had a good look round. He observed that everyone was busily eating and no one was keeping an eye on their belongings. It was a perfect situation for a thief, and that is just what happened. Apricot witnessed a man in a nice smart pinstripe suit looking like a perfect gentleman. But it was an illusion, and there was something in his shifty-looking eyes which suggested otherwise. Apricot watched him looking over his unread newspaper and over at the ladies' handbags. His eyes were alive with greed, like a cat staring at a saucer of cream. The man stood up and he slowly folded his newspaper onto the table. Then he walked past a dear old lady who was busy buttering her scone. Her handbag was open and her purse was plain to see. It was a perfect opportunity. He walked past quickly, and then, quick as a flash, he swept the purse from her bag. As she guided the fat scone into her grateful mouth, her only thoughts were concerning her taste buds. She wasn't thinking about her purse. Apricot looked round. He was hoping that someone else had spotted the crime, but everyone was either buttering toast or lifting huge coloured cakes to their mouths. As Mary returned, the thief had left the restaurant. He had a sly smile on his face, and he did not look back.